Hey everyone, Dr. Trevor Cates here, and I have a question for you. Do you have issues that include insomnia, excess belly fat, sugar cravings, inflammatory skin issues that's like acne, eczema, or rosacea? If you have any of these symptoms, you may have problems with your adrenal glands producing too much cortisol. This is very common because our adrenals are our cortisol is our response to stress. When we're stressed, our adrenals produce more cortisol. Now, cortisol is not a bad thing. We want it in this, just like all of our hormones. There's like this Goldilocks sweet spot, just not too much, not too little, just right. And that includes cortisol. So let's talk about why cortisol would create all of these symptoms. And then you could kind of see if this might be applying to your life. And then I've got some tips for you. So, if you are the type of person that is up late at night, your mind is still racing, you just can't settle down because you're wound up. That might be because you have high cortisol at night. So, our cortisol, our adrenal hormone cortisol, normally goes through changes throughout the day. So, the normal rhythm of cortisol is that it'll go up in the morning to help us wake up in the morning. But then it's supposed to go down at night so that we can fall asleep. However, a lot of people end up with high cortisol at night, and then they're not able to fall asleep very well. Also, people that tend to have high ongoing cortisol levels, excess production of cortisol, tend to put weight around their midsection, right around the belly section. So they end up with this belly fat. And I've seen this a lot in my patients in Park City, where it's a very fit, active community here in Park City. You've got people that are exercising, eating healthy, but yet they can't figure out how to lose this belly fat. And that's because they oftentimes have high cortisol. And so their body is holding on to this excess belly fat. And that's partly because it ties into our blood sugar balance. If our cortisol is not working right, it's not going to help our blood sugar balance. That's also ties into why if you have high cortisol, you might have sugar cravings. Um, I think a lot of times, and we talk about this in the Hormones, Health, and Harmony docu-series, a lot of times people don't realize that it's actually glucocortico steroid hormone. So that gluco in there means it's related to glucose. So there's a connection between your adrenals, your cortisol, and your blood sugar. And so if it's high, most likely you're going to have difficulty with your blood sugar. Again, I'm going to go to the solutions in just a second, but just so you'll know if this is you, if this your hormonal imbalance, because I could tell you that after studying hormones so much over the last 20 plus years and doing my 10-part documentary series and writing my book Natural Beauty Reset, which I have it up right here. It's coming out in 2 weeks exactly. I can tell you, doing all this research, seeing all these patients, hormonal imbalances impact everyone. And I focus this book on women, and the docu-series is focused on women. Really, it impacts all people. So also the other thing that a lot of people with high cortisol experience is inflammatory skin conditions. So, inflammatory skin conditions can include things like acne, eczema or atopic dermatitis, and rosacea. Those are some of the common inflammatory skin conditions. So, if you have insomnia, excess belly fat, sugar cravings, inflammatory skin issues, then you may have excess cortisol. So, what you want to do is work on balancing your adrenal function and so that your cortisol is where it should be, higher in the morning, lower at night, and then having that diurnal variation throughout the day, and then your body can just really bounce back. So what we want to do with that is focus on your eating, your movement, and your mindset. And with all hormonal conditions, you also want to reduce your exposure to hormone disrupting chemicals. Hormone disrupting chemicals are also known as endocrine disrupting chemicals, EDCs. I talk about them a lot. We talk about them in episode 4 of the Hormones, Health, and Harmony docu-series. We talk about them, I talk about them in my book, Natural Beauty Reset. And so we definitely want to reduce our exposure to those because they can wreak havoc in so many different ways with our endocrine system and creating hormonal imbalances. So reducing your exposure to these toxins. And then let's talk about eating, movement, and mindset and how what we can do with those. So, with healthy eating, part of it has to do with your blood sugar balance. So, you want to make sure you're getting plenty of fiber, you're getting the right amount of fats and the right kinds of fats. You're not overdoing it with sugar or simple carbohydrates, a lot of grains and processed foods, and because you might have a tendency to have those blood sugar spikes, and we definitely don't want that. Also, then that will tie into that'll tie into issues with insulin, which is another hormone that I talk a lot about. Yeah, so somebody is saying ADCs ruined my skin. I'm currently detoxing from them. Yeah, so one of the best ways to detox from them is just to get them out. Detoxing, the biggest thing about detoxing skincare products is to just get rid of the ones that contain endocrine disrupting chemicals and the forever chemicals. PFAS, want to get rid of those, or like the Teflon, those types of chemicals. They're used in a lot of the long lasting mascaras and lipsticks. We definitely need to get those out of our system as well. So definitely want to, healthy eating can definitely help with our cortisol levels. We basically also want to think about, since our adrenals are how we produce a lot of the stress hormones. Cortisol is a stress hormone because it's there for a reason, and it's really great because it helps us when we are stressed and when we need to get out and get in safety. It helps with our sympathetic fight or flight response and all of that. Our adrenals are really key for that. So we want them to be working optimally. So another big part of that is movement and mindset. And so with mindset, we want to look at what are some of the stress management techniques, breath work, gratitude journaling, maybe even like a yoga class, some stretching. So moving your body and getting some mindset practices at the same time is really helpful and important for our adrenals. There are also some supplements that you might want to consider. One of my favorite for adrenals is rhodiola. Rhodiola is an herb. It's spelled Rhodiola. And we have it in our Stress Adapt supplement at the Spa Doctor. Stress Adapt supplement at the Spa Doctor. We have ashwagandha is our Stress Adapt supplement, and rhodiola. These are two of my favorite of the ashwagandha. I'm not going to try and spell that right now, but it's kind of, you just kind of sound it out and you can spell it. And that one, both of these are adaptogenic herbs, meaning that really helped our adrenals adapt, our hormones adapt, our stress response, make us more resilient. So these could be particularly helpful whether your adrenals are overproducing or underproducing, or they're just out of whack. These can help your body adapt, create that balance that we need with our adrenals. So really, really important for that. There are also some amino acids that can be really important too to help with managing your cortisol production, like L-theanine and L-tyrosine. So, and the dosing on these really varies, but those are some supplements to look into. And then I want to highly encourage you to go get a copy of my book, Natural Beauty Reset. Got lots of recommendations on that. So right now, it's only available for pre-order. It already hit #1 on Amazon in new releases for skin ailments. And so definitely go check it out on Amazon. After you pre-order your copy, whether you do that from Amazon or Barnes and Nobles or wherever your favorite book retailer is, go to naturalbeautyreset.com, and I've got $500 worth of electronic bonuses, things you can download and have instant access to. All you have to do is put in your order number from when you order your book, and then put your email address so we can send you all your bonuses. $500 worth of bonuses. I've got workbooks that I created. There are workbooks for each season. So the summer, because we're in summer still right now, technically, and then also fall, which is right around the corner. Got workbooks to help. Great. So somebody saying that she already, somebody else already ordered theirs, pre-ordered. Looks like a few people here have pre-ordered. That's awesome. And so you can get those bonuses and get started. I also encourage you to sign up for our Hormones, Health, and Harmony docu-series. We are doing another free screening of this docu-series. We start with 9 different episodes, and we have them, they're free when they go live on September 13th. So go to hormoneseries.com, register for that if you haven't already. And you want to sign up because you'll get an email with the link on September 13th when we go live with episode 1. You'll get a link to watch it, and it'll be free for 24 hours, episode 1, and then we'll go to episode 2 for 24 hours, and so on. So yeah, so yeah, you like my somebody's commenting on my episode of the podcast Women of Impact. Yeah, that was a really fun interview to do. I've got some more coming up. So thank you all so much for joining me. You can always post any questions that you have, and I'll see you next time.